game number 4. I've used, as you can see, my variable grouping template because, you know, there's variation in these groups. We've got rules. Second rule, I'm doing in the diagram like so. Since 2 and 3 must have exactly 2 things in common, I could just do something like that. Third rule, third one has snapdragons, so I can just go ahead and put snapdragons in the third in every single one of these. And since 1 and 3 don't have anything in common, I get rid of snapdragons for bouquet 1 in every single one of these. And if you've got snapdragons, you don't have, from rule 4, you don't have the lilies. So I can get rid of the lilies in bouquet 3 everywhere. Just like so. Final rule, if you got the T, whatever T is, tulips probably, then you also have the peonies. So no peonies, no tulips. Rules make sense. I'm ready to answer some questions. We did get a global accounting question in 19, and answer choice B breaks our first rule. You can't have peonies in both bouquets 1 and 3. Answer choice C breaks that last rule. If you got the tulips in bouquet 2, you've also got to have the peonies. And answer choice D breaks our fourth rule. If you've got those lilies, you cannot have snapdragons. And answer choice E, bouquet 3 has to have the snapdragons, and it doesn't, so get rid of that shit. That leaves only answer choice A. Done and done. All right, for question 20, if we've got the lilies in bouquet 1, which of the following must be true? All right, and well, I've already got these pre-populated, so I don't have to leave like a 0 diagram. If lilies are in bouquet 1, then that means that bouquet 1 has roses, and we already knew it didn't have snapdragons. Now, that means bouquet 3, which doesn't have anything in common with 1, does not have roses. But bouquet 3 does have to have 2 things in common with bouquet 2. 2 and 3 have to have 2 things in common. And maybe the easiest way of thinking about this is to say that bouquet 3 either has tulips or, we'll go over here, does not have tulips. Now, if it doesn't have tulips, then it's got snapdragons and peonies, and those 2 things have to be in bouquet 2. I don't know what else is in bouquet 2. If it does have tulips, well, then it's also got peonies. And at this point, I don't really know what's in bouquet 2. You know, 2 of these 3 things are, but which 2? I don't know. Nor do I really care, because we were asked if the lilies are in bouquet 1, then what has to be true? And the only thing that has to be true is that you've got to have the peonies in bouquet 3. Hey, look at answer choice B. Bitchin'. 21, if tulips are in bouquet 1, well, let's see. If we got tulips there, then you've also got peonies. And you have no tulips here and no peonies here, which means you do have roses. You have to have 2 things in common with 2 and 3, so roses and snapdragons. And you got roses here, you don't have them here. And if you've got snapdragons, then you don't have lilies. All right, what did the question ask? Could be a complete and accurate list of the kinds of flowers in bouquet 2. Well, a complete and accurate list will not contain lilies, and it must contain both roses and snapdragons. So only answer choice E remains as a possibility. Excellent. For 22, which of the following cannot be a complete and accurate list of flowers in bouquet 2? So 4 of these things can be. Answer choice A, lilies and roses. You know, I've never seen lilies and roses, actually, and we never can we? Because if we had lilies and roses, and that's the complete list, how are you going to get 2 things in common with bouquet 3? You can't do it. This is not going to work. That's why A is the right answer. All right, finally, question 23, which the following cannot be true. So again, same thing. A, lilies and roses are the only kinds in bouquet 1. We've already seen that that's a possibility. Check that shit off. Answer choice B, peonies and tulips are the only kinds in bouquet 1. I've already seen that that's a possibility. Check that shit off. C, lilies, peonies, and roses are the only kinds in bouquet 2. So far I don't have it. Maybe they can't work. Answer choice D, peonies, roses, and snapdragons in bouquet 2. P, R, and S. Yeah, I've shown that that could be a possibility right here. Check it off. E, peonies, snapdragons, and tulips are the only kinds in bouquet 3. Peonies, snapdragons, and tulips. Yep, that can be true. And that means that answer choice C is our answer and it won't work, but you want to see why? Yeah, let's see why. L, P, and R. The only ones. L, P, and R, the only ones. And we're all right on this rule? Yeah, if you've got L and you've got R and no S, cool, that's no problem. We gotta have two things in common, which means this has got to be P and R. Yeah? And then that no P, no R, because 1 and 3 can't have anything in common. And now, oh shit. No peonies means no tulips up here, but no roses means no lilies. And if we did that, then bouquet 1 doesn't have any flowers in it. And that is what they call in the business a shitty bouquet. And that's this game, and that's this section. Alright. In that video, I showed you why all the right answers were the right answers in that game. But I didn't really show you how to arrive at those answers. I didn't give you a system for dealing with the questions. I didn't give you a method for arriving at a diagram and working through a game on your own. And that's because I think that's worth paying for. If you agree with me, check out this link and you can see a list of all our current course offerings and their prices, and they're pretty reasonable, I think. And if you don't want to pay for that, that's totally cool. Just keep making the best use you can out of all these free videos, and please tell all your friends and family, neighbors and acquaintances and people you meet on the street how awesome we are. Of course, I mean, if you thought that was awesome, you really should see what's in the paid course.